we ever met.
General Wilderness. Okay, so I'm sure you guys all remember, but in the last session, you made your way to the little waypoint before entering the Green Sea. This consisted of a couple of markets where you could buy supplies that you would need to make your way through. Small taverns, stables, and a guidepost. Here's where you met, Bluey. You met the child of one of the leaders of your area in Melas. What did you say?
The child.
The child. Who seemed to be breaking off on their own to try and establish something of common trend in the south as well as in the north. You also spoke more with my own. Astra, you and my own talking in a bath, and her being pissy and avoidant. But what's new? That's Githyanki for you.
Pissy and avoidant.
And indeed.
And Astra just being completely unfazed, like, yeah, okay, whatever, bruh.
And some of you also entered into a tavern brawl.
Very successful.
A very successful tavern brawl, in which you provoked the barman, poked the bear, to throw a plate at you, Ulster. Throw a punch at you, Ulster, which led to food fights, plate throwing, and eventually finding yourselves a guide to take you through the Green Sea in Alaria Swansand. Now, Alaria is a druid. She is a halfling, and she is plucky, courageous, and also was the guide who took none other than Big Ed through the Green Sea only a few days before.
How did he get ahead of us?
In your last scry, he was ahead of you.
How did he do that? He's so big.
He's so big, and he's also called Ed and has low intelligence. It's crazy. It is crazy. I wonder how. As if there's a conspiracy.
Yeah.
He just didn't dawdle in Ironstone.
We didn't dawdle.
No, we did relax. We had some fun.
Much.
Some of us had a lot of fun.
Woo! I'm disassociated.
Indeed. Now, Dural was a little bit self-conscious, but opened up a little bit more as we progressed the session. And we finished off with a little bit of a tiff between Ulster and the Wren, as Ulster had, ill-advisedly or otherwise, it was of his own merit, reached out to Cruel and told them their exact location.
Might prolong the inevitable, bestie.
Which Lauren did not enjoy particularly. However, you guys finish off on a tentative peace and all gather by the Green Sea, hammocks in hand, ready to enter. Now, Ulster, I need to send something to you.
Yes. The last time.
Oh, I did this wrong.
We ever met.
Oh, I've had, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. In my head, non-stop.
It's on Astarian's playlist, and it's a very good playlist.
It is a very good playlist.
But Neil Newbin. We're getting a photo with
Neil Newbin. Soon. It gets closer and closer.
What do I think about it, Mike? Very sweet man.
Lily, just so you know, this is obviously subject to a little bit of working as we see how it feels.
Yeah. I'm just going to go change my shirt because I'm hot.
Okay.
No.
Cool. Okay. So, How are you all feeling?
Is it the same? I can't remember. Is it the same day as Ulster contacting Karul, or has?
It is the same day.
Okay. Yes.
It's getting a little bit on in the day, and your guide seems anxious to get the journey started before having to make a camp. I have a bit of detail with that.
Oh, sorry. Are we still bringing Shigenwaft Halderswin?
Halderswin. Yes, you are. So you have in your party, you have the three of you. You have Loran and Droll, my own, Ilaria Swansand, and Shigenwaft Halderswin. So do enjoy me going on a little rotation of various NPCs today. Shigenwaft.
I've already made up a spelling. So actually, don't tell me.
Okay then.
Oh, and Jarrell.
Yeah. He's like, dare you forget me?
Someone's missing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8 total. Oh boy. Including
I am going to change the spelling of Ilaria so that Lily can have Ilaria as was originally planned for Core's mother. So it now has a Y instead of an I. Okay. Fantasy!
I do love the fantasy Y.
The fantasy Y is what answers all of my questions. So,
stay at the fantasy YMCA.
As you guys are gathered around the full extent of your party together, Ilaria turns around and goes, yeah, that's a good size. A good few meat shields here. Look, I'm not expecting you all to make it. I hope you understand. No, I am joking. Apologies for any rudeness. It was not my intention. I sometimes think that's a fun joke to start the trail. Okay, wow. You seem a little bit upset. Is there something you would like to talk about? No. Okay. Well, guys, and they look at the rest of you. And also, and Also and Astra, your two passive perceptions are the highest. So can you just roll me perception checks, please? Because you would have maybe noticed this.
16.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here. I'm just rolling. I had to pry my dice out from underneath the laptop where I'm looking at the computer sheet.
That's fine.
Oh my gosh, perception. That is an 18.
Okay, cool. I was expecting it to be 40. Great. No, that was a joke. That was a well-hearted, loving joke.
It is a well-hearted joke. I have a screenshot to share with you.
Oh my god.
They rolled a 48.
How is that even fucking possible?
I think if you get enough bonuses and you're the right class and subclass, you can get massive rolls.
That's
how the bards are convincing all the bad guys to kill themselves because their bonus is so high.
Yeah, so Lincoln's gonna be a bard, and I fucking love bards. I love bards. I'm really loving a druid as well for some different flavor. They feel like two sides of the same spectrum of whimsy. Mm-hmm. So the coin is whimsy, and one side is annoying whimsy, and one side is autistic whimsy.
You're one of those people who rolled a 40, Aelin.
That's fucked. I love it. Right.
Specifically, this is Asterion getting a 40, not me. He can slay, not me.
Good he is actually really good. Everyone was complaining that Astarion was useless, and I was like, when he was in our party, he was not useless.
Once you learn how to pickpocket and how to hide and sneak, then everything is completely fine.
I learned how to do that.
Also, yeah, all you need for him to get mad rolls is advantage, and that's so easy because you can literally do the help action if you have nothing else you can do, and he's nearby you.
Or give him a guidance.
Or give him that would still make his rolls really good. Right, so
anyway, we don't need to talk about Astarion anymore. Maybe.
So, you guys both look around, and you do notice that of the teams who are about to set off, there are very few, and in fact, a couple are already kind of turning back. Ilaria seems... yeah. Ilaria seems confident, but the people around you would suggest that whether going this time of day is recommended or not might be up to a debate.
Well, nothing like a challenge.
Loren says, I mean, we could indulge in the creature comforts of that lovely inn. Yeah. I'm sure we'd be very welcome now that we've driven its owner out of business.
I also drove him into the forest. So.
Yes, and he'll never be seen again. Ilaria says, most likely, actually.
He'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. My own kind of chimes in and says, he cannot survive a cluster of trees. He is not worth the air he breathes. Wow. I say, let him rot in there.
Wow.
We could certainly give him a chance.
That was very intense.
Oh, Bluey.
Ilaria, in terms of like a marching order, so you're a guide, you know this place. I quite like the idea of protecting people. Would I be useful up the front, or would I just get in the way?
She thinks and says, we can put you at the front. Yes, I think you'd be useful there.
Can I insight check up Ilaria?
Yeah.
Dirty 20.
A dirty 20, she got like a measuring tape out and measured like the width and height of Bluey and was like, good shield, yes.
Also
I'm joking.
Comes over to Sparks and is like, you do know that she's using you as a meat shield.
Yeah, meat shield. Ding, ding, ding.
Okay, as long as you're happy with that.
Ilaria's like, I mean, she volunteered.
Not be a meat shield. He kind of clings onto Sparks. Sparks is very important.
Oh. You guys have a wonderful friendship. It brings a tear to the eye to see.
You're not crying at all. In fact, your eyes are a bit dry and twitchy.
Huh? I'm completely fine, do not worry. That's just a little bit of dust. It's quite dry in this area. Right. No time like the present.
Can I position Loran in the centre of the group as the squishy wizard?
Squishwood, yes you can. Okay, yes.
Best friends. He pushes them together. Stay in the middle.
I had a best friend once, nay, a lover perhaps. It was that day in the Fang that I saw her for the first time. Like the bird of a wing with a feather in the spring. She dismissed me with naught but a line. Fuck off. And I loved her ever since.
Chickenwolf, if I may, I have a brief suggestion.
What is that?
Your singing makes you a target for death.
From us, or?
Many kings have said the same. For I sing the truth and I reveal the secrets of those in the ruling nobility.
And several more principles.
Sorry.
Make a persuasion check.
Also said several more princes would say the same.
Because he's a prince.
Say the... Oh. Fuck off? Or, wait, what are you referring to?
No, that his music would... Don't worry.
Oh,
Don't
make
worry.
him a target.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And... Now,
Astra was just trying to convey, like, hey, if you're making a lot of noise, stuff in the forest might want to eat you.
Yeah. 100%. Right, Astra, can you please roll me a persuasion check? Or intimidation, depending on what you think this is.
I don't think that she's trying to be intimidating. I think she's actively trying to persuade him.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not he thinks it's intimidating, I will leave up to you.
Easily intimidated.
Persuasion them?
Okay, so persuasion is a 15 plus 6, 21.
He looks woefully down at his lute and looks up at you, and then he goes, I can tell you are not one to be crossed. I suppose for now, whilst I am in your favour and in your debt, to bring me along with you, I will relinquish my bardic tendencies.
Just for now.
Hold on.
It would be a terrible waste of coin for you not to make it all the way through the forest, don't you see?
It would, I suppose it would.
Although,
all right,
if you can imitate the sound of leaves in the wind with your voice and lute, then that would be a perfect disguise. But I imagine that could be a bit hard for anyone.
Let me see what I can do.
Or if you can sound like an angry owlbear.
I can definitely. My monster manual, I almost ripped a page out of it. That would have made me upset. That would have made me upset. Right. So.
I'm glad it never happened.
It never happened. It never happened.
It's false.
We made it up. It's false. It happened. It's from no, it's not X. It's like some spooky show where they end it with like a fake one.
Like it's a mix of like true or like possibly true stories mixed with stuff written, and then each of them are kind of acted out. And the guy who's in a Star Trek series is the like or not the
like the your storyful guide.
Your storyful guide, yes. I love that. That's such a good phrase. That's such a good way to phrase it. And in fact, that's what Shigenwaft thinks he is. He says, I am just your storyful guide, you see. Example art for Shigenwaft Haldeswin, for anybody who wishes to see it.
Where is it?
It's coming.
In which chat?
The Facebook chat, friends. There is our Shigenwaft.
Aww.
And you guys have already seen this, but I will send it to you again.
What race is he?
He's a human. He's boring. And then this is Alaria. Classic druid. Classic adventurer. The only difference would be that her clothing would look like it was once the colours of the sort of the green sea, and
green, now brown and grey.
Now brown and grey. Exactly. It was a little bit sad. Indeed. Pardon me, hiccup. Right, so I've got my spell sheet for when you guys get TPK'd.
Rude.
Love you guys.
Total party kiss.
Total party kissed. Wonderful. Shigenwaft says, now I do want to tell you all that I am not here to be what you might call a nuisance or a hindrance. I do have certain skills and, well, perplexities and complexities about myself that might aid us in our journey.
Let's hope you don't have to use any of those.
Yes, indeed. Very sage words, young man. Very sage.
Does he try and touch him?
No.
He went like this.
He went like this.
We're gonna be like...
No, don't worry. I respect consent.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you guys gather together, you are led by Ilaria down a kind of cobbled road, which becomes less and less like maintained, and more wild. And you do pass Bluey, the table where the people of Melas were once sort of waiting, and all the different religious individuals were like handing out supplies and things, and they have packed up for the day. It's only about 2:00 in the afternoon, but it seems like this is sort of like the last time that you can really go in and make it any decent campsite. Then you make your way through, and Gerald kind of looks like he is a bit tense as he goes into the sort of like first line of trees, and he looks down at you and says, "Yes."
I'm just keeping you company.
No, you can keep me company. That's fine.
What's on your mind?
Why did you message Karul?
I was trying to just bring things to a head before they got too desperate.
I don't understand that reasoning very well.
Well, if I didn't message him, he could disappear out of nowhere. At least this way.
He'll appear right where we are.
I can keep an eye on when he's coming. Are you scared?
Not scared. I'm confused.
At me? Him?
Both. Because... Pardon me, I need to sneeze.
Bless you, John.
Bless you.
From everything I know about him, he would be here right this moment. But he isn't.
Probably thinks it's a trap.
No. He would be able to destroy your traps.
You sure?
Well, if I was acting logically, I would help him. And yet here I am. Walking with you all. Like we're some adventuring party.
Because he kind of smiles and he
No,
doesn't touch Drow, but he like looks up at him. Maybe we could be your friends.
No.
Have you ever had a friend?
Yes.
Can I insight check Drow?
Yeah.
18. No. 19.
Karul was my friend. When you notice the look you give him.
He was my friend too.
Yeah, this isn't a competition, Ulster.
No, as in saying maybe he wasn't the best friend. Or maybe he kind of like, I'm guessing they're kind of towards the back. He kind of like gestures for Gerald to step back a little bit with him. Or maybe we could try and help him. There aren't that many people who are beyond helping. You said he changed?
I did say that. Around the time when he began wearing that painite and trying to use it on you, I suppose. I think it got to him. And Loran, like kind of hearing this, says, "Spell sickness," or something like that. There are some...
Yes, Loran, welcome to the conversation. He opens up the little sphere.
I was going to say, if Loran is eavesdropping, Astra would probably be eavesdropping as well. Ulster probably notices, like, her ears moving up, like...
Well, because if you guys want to be in the conversation, you can just say so.
Huh?
You don't have to. I can do what I like. Chiggenwaft, swap with me. And Chiggenwaft goes to the head. Loran takes a step back and says to you and Astra, there are some materials and spell components which, if you are exposed to them for a long time, can alter you mentally.
So we're positing that the painite could have affected him. Joel?
I want you to understand, though, because I don't think that you're going to be prepared for this side of things. He was an awful person before as well, and so was I.
Killed a lot of people.
Not just that. Torture. That's just one thing. Manipulation. You weren't the first of his targets. Though you were probably the one who was most successful. Long before he ended up using Painite or settled on Painite, There were people whose lives he completely ruined, who I ended up killing for him. I'm sorry, Bluey. I know you dislike me for that, and for how candidly I speak of it. But that's been my existence, and his, for the majority of our lives. Maybe not the majority of his, but a lot of his.
Mm.
When you remove, if it's possible, if you remove this affliction from him, if any is to be found, it's likely that he may still choose to be awful and evil.
That's his choice.
And if he makes that choice,
then
as himself, I will follow him.
Okay.
I hope you know that.
And that is
because
your choice.
Yeah. You took the words out of my mouth.
You must love him very much.
I won't let him suffer by himself, even if he's made his own suffering.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Loran kind of looks at Doral and sort of shakes his head and says, "You're absolutely whipped. Can't relate. Surprised you didn't have your own mind, really." And Doral hisses at him. But doesn't say anything. Instead looks at you, Astra, and says, "You're in a long-term relationship. You understand it. Even if that doesn't."
I understand some things, but it's my place to learn, not to judge. And if I don't understand something, it just means that I need to spend more time learning.
There aren't many who would say something so sage and genuinely mean it. This conversation bores me now. And he looks a little bit uncomfortable. You get the impression he's trying to figure out a way to take the attention off of himself.
It's been a long time, yes, but my partner and I find ways to make things work. Because I can't stay. My heart and my mind is always tugged away. My duty will always come first. And I would advise rolling an insight check.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who wants to.
I want to.
Unfortunately, it's not very high for Doral.
How's 14?
What did Doral get as well? Just to
5. Sorry.
But
if you want to be forthcoming,
I think even with a 5, he'd still get that there's
a discomfort,
like it's
a disconnect.
It's there's something about what she's saying that seems like it's something very practiced, like even like with such a low roll as a 5. I think Bluey would understand further that Astra's like calling to her deity, it has like a stronger pull on her mind than she is capable of resisting. Like, she didn't have a choice in becoming what she is. She is simply learned to find peace in it.
Okay.
Thank you.
And there's a couple of things I want to have Ulster's input on, so just wait one sec.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, Ulster probably would pick up on that as well. So if I need to repeat that for Lily, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah. There are a few developments. The first is Joral called Loran that.
Called him what?
That.
That? Why?
He basically said I don't remember exactly what he said now.
What did Loran say to Joral?
I don't remember.
Guys?
It was improvised. I just remembered. That's what Ulster would react to.
Is this something about Joral's love to Karul?
Oh, right. Okay. Joral was like, if Karul was to choose after he had been removed from the Pain Knight's influence, to still do evil, then Joral would follow him in that, and that would be his choice to make. And Loran said something along the lines of,
he called him whipped.
Actually, you're so whipped you can't even make your own decisions. And something like that. And Joral said something like, it would be my own choice, even if that disagrees with me. And then, sorry, there's more because you were away for a while.
Yeah. You're away for a while.
You're away for a while.
It was 2 minutes.
Aylin, would you like to summarize what you mentioned what you said to Joral?
Joral prompted Astra, saying that that she understands being in a long-term relationship, and Astra explained, yes, I've been in a relationship and my partner and I make it work, but she understands that my duty comes first, and there was an insight roll which Ulster would probably pick up on if you would like to roll as well.
Yeah. To respond quickly before
He only got 12. Well, no, sorry, 15.
Yeah,
he would have
more than me.
Yeah, he would have picked up that Astra's duty to their deities is more of a divine compulsion rather than something she has a choice in. It's just something she's found peace in.
And Joral says...
That is a lot. How did I miss that in 2 minutes, guys?
Joral says to that, responding directly to your comments there, Astra, I can see why you and Ulster are friends. You're a lot like him.
What? Also starts looking at Astra, and it looks like he's looking for a physical similarity. He's like,
I think Astra's doing the exact same thing. They're just staring at each other, almost confused.
What do you mean?
Astra, you're like Karul.
I found him to be quite pleasant, honestly, but
He looks at you and says, "Oh, you are like him."
It's not often that I find banter like that, but
sorry, we're talking about
just without the child murder and torture.
He murdered children?
Well, I did. No, I didn't.
Don't you have a child?
Yes. Where is he?
Don't worry, we'll find him.
Right, teenagers don't count as children.
No, we hate teenagers.
Yes, okay. So the moment they turn 12.
No.
That is still not
14.
a teen.
technically still a
At the moment,
teenager.
they're smaller than like.
Huh?
I'm 19. That's a teen.
I'm 19. Well, I'm 18. 19. But it's kind of hard to measure. That's why he doesn't like us.
Oh, I'm.
Loran, wait, hang on. Loran's like.
Yeah, Astra and Loran like.
How are you?
Ulster, come with me for a moment. Hang on.
Okay. He takes his arm.
Let me give it to you in Auslan.
You know what I was.
No, but you say you were 27.
Sorry?
27.
Yeah, like in terms of elven years and human years, 18. How old are you? So holds his ring on protectively. Like, no take bags. It's too late.
Remember, before I speak anymore, that for about for many decades, I was juvenile.
You're still kind of. Sorry.
Great, wonderful. A century and a bit.
Century and a bit.
Just less than a small bit.
How much is a bit?
Not that much.
Wow, so you've lived 100+ years.
I think I'll go turn myself in. He stands up. No.
Holds on to Loran.
Ilaria looks around and says, "No, you can't leave because if you walk back, you will die."
Oh, we're at that point.
No turning back now.
You guys are already at that point, and yes, indeed. Myon and Ilaria.
The wind, spooky mists.
Bluey, Myon, and Ilaria, the three of you have been pulling ahead quite a little bit, and Ilaria has stopped about like 5 times in the last few minutes, whilst the others are just like chatting in a little huddle and like constantly stopping amongst themselves,
Arguing.
and so on, arguing.
Panic attack.
Shigenwaft is like anxiously reaching for his loot, like, I must, but I can't. Whilst Myon looks to be keeping a really close watch on the surroundings, like taking this sort of wilderness survival very seriously. Ilaria looks around and she says, I am loving, actually really loving, this is so juicy, finding out about all of your personal lives. I'm a bit concerned about the murder, but I'm going to let that slide because...
the age gap.
Well, that is something that you guys can sort out.
Just for
yourselves.
everyone's peace of mind.
Loran
it's like
is
an 18 and a 23-year-old. It's not that
super weird.
It's not that weird.
In fantasy, that is fine.
His face. But Loran is like Loran. He's not like Karul, who's not allowed near schools.
Yeah, and Karul is in like his late 20s.
No, Karul is about 27, 26.
What would you call that if not your late 20s?
I think because you keep saying he's like 28, 29. He's not like that.
So okay, right. Your early 20s.
Mid-20s. It's like 24 to 26. Yeah.
There's like 5 years, and there's another 5 years, and then one is your early 20s.
What's your mid-20s then?
Whatever you want it to be. You can say
we're in our mid-20s.
Yes, that's fine, but you can say it doesn't matter. It's the same difference.
That's what I'm saying.
Karul is 26, 27, like Lily said. Okay, that's fine. Okay, but that is weird to date an 18-year-old.
Yes. Well,
also, an 18-year-old you knew when he was 6. But
he's not dating an 18-year-old.
He's not.
Oh
exactly.
yeah, no, that is the worst part of it. Yes.
Yeah.
So equivalently, Astra's
Anyway,
like
I don't know how
Karul age.
That's why he's not allowed near schools.
That's why he's not allowed near schools.
Ah.
Anyway.
Can you shut the window?
Can you shut the window? Can you shut it last time? I love you. They're so annoying.
I know, they always like mow their lawn at the most inconvenient times. Also, is explaining why the age gap with Karol is much creepier than his age gap with Loran, but it's probably not making anything better.
Yeah, Loran is just shocked that he hadn't quite figured that out properly. But he said, look, at the end of the day, it wouldn't change anything. It makes me just very, very, very much glad that we never met and that I missed that work opportunity I was offered in the Messiah. Anyway.
I'm glad we never met.
When
Ulster
never wanted to meet me.
Ulster.
Like, slumps.
Stop growing mushrooms. He's like melting like this. Ulster.
Like
Yeah. Stop growing mushrooms. If I had met you, we would definitely not be in a relationship.
So true.
And I would have had to like I would have had to like kiss him, and points to Shiganwald.
What?
And Shiganwald is like, excuse me?
I'm going to eat.
Have to.
No, I have to kiss people.
You have to kiss people.
I'm absolutely
Consensual.
so compelled.
Consensual.
So compelled. Excuse me, actually. And he looks at you with like a really sharp look and says, why the fuck would it not be if I asked? If I was going to kiss someone, of course I would ask commission. Don't be a bitch.
Commission.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, I thought you said commission.
Between being called that and accused of non-consensual acts, I am going to step out of this conversation.
No, okay. Nobody's leaving.
He casts silence
on himself.
It's 20-foot radius.
Also, starts like gesticulating.
Mm-hmm. He walks into a tree.
Oh. Look, he taps him.
He points at Astra.
Astra winks at Loran, and he can tell that she's just messing with him.
He says, XX.
Also walks to the edge of the 20-foot radius, steps outside. Can we stop?
Everyone, you hear. No sound can pass through.
But
you walk to the edge of the 20-foot radius?
You
walk 20 feet away from the path?
Yeah, but he holds up a
Wait.
sign. Can we stop?
Stop. You walk 20 feet away from the path. No, I'm joking. No, it's fine. I don't think anything's going to happen. Roll me a d12.
He would walk up the path, surely.
7.
Also, that's a very good question. Would you walk up the path?
Up the path.
Up the path. So you walk ahead of Ilaria.
Yeah.
Roll me a d10.
Unless he's stopped, but 6.
6. Okay, hang on.
This is Loran's fault if anything happens.
I'm just checking. I don't think anything does.
We don't cast silence.
Oh, sick. There are cool names in the back of this. Anyway.
Casting silence when we need to be keeping ears out for danger.
Loran continues to strop.
You know what's also a danger? Being accused.
You're not being accused of anything!
Feral crimes. A child! Who really did this? I knew it would be Aelin. Absolutely knew it. Okay. Right, heal up. Okay, here we are. A, B, C, D, E, F, F. Okay, you're fine.
Okay, also holds up a sign which says, stop this.
Everyone stops, and Loran, with reluctance, drops the silence.
Okay, no more casting silence spells. He kind of walks back towards you guys. No more calling people names, looks at Joelle. No more accusing people of things they won't do, looks at Astra. Looks around the party in general. Everybody, you have to be kind to each other, at least for... How long is this trip going to take?
3 days.
At least for 3 days.
I'm sorry, Loran. I just wanted you not to assume that people might be interested. Gestures to Shiganwaft.
Sorry, let me stop pretending to be Shiganwa for a second and transcend back into Loran's body. He goes to you, Astra, and he says, may I? Holding up his hand.
Do what?
As if he's going to touch you.
Sure.
He pokes you in the chest, and he says, "You don't know me. You don't know shit about me. If you want to pretend like we're friends, you can pretend like we're friends. But don't assume anything about my morals. And don't assume we're closer than we are, because you owe me a lot of money right now, and I will collect." And he turns around and he stalks to the head of the group, next to Bluey.
Also kind of gestures to Sparks, look after him, and then shuffles over to Astra. Astra?
I'm sorry, Aelin, I love you.
Astra. He kind of speaks in Undercommon to Astra. Astra.
Mm-hmm.
Astra. So, you see, I'm not going to expose Loran's secrets and history.
You don't need to. He made it very clear, placed his boundaries, and I'd overstepped them. It was entirely my fault, and I'm sorry. I will need to make it up to him.
Yeah, just be cautious, because Loran, actually, despite his jokes and frivolity, does care a lot about issues of consent, and he will be quite upset if anyone accuses him of anything otherwise. So just to tell you that is a very sore point for him, and I'm sure he doesn't actually actively dislike you or mean that you're not friends or that he is going to steal all of your money. It's
he might
maybe just that last one.
But
sorry, Aelin, I interrupted you.
He might mean all of those things, and it was entirely my fault. And I understand that. You don't need to jump to his defense.
No, I'm just explaining.
Oh, in that case, thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh. Okay. Well, maybe when we camp, you two can...
It's fine. I will give him his space.
Okay.
Aelin, I love you.
Okay, yeah, give him his space, and then I'm sure you can make it up to each other. He kind of pats Astra on the shoulder. I'm gonna go check to make sure he's okay.
Please do. He needs your care more than I do.
Okay. He looks at Drow. Drow, I know you can understand me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't call people that. It's not very nice.
He wasn't very nice to Astra just then, so...
Yes, but they weren't being very nice to each other. And you were not involved, so you don't have any right to say anything. Bad. He points his finger in Charles' face.
Astra, I will say, looks like she's kind of... She might have gotten a little teary, but is just quashing it down, knowing that she's in the wrong. And...
No! Loran's a bitch!
This is perfectly fine.
Okay. Be that upset with his history.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, like,
I'm sorry.
It's entirely in character. I know that this is not like, us as players coming at each other. Everything is fine. I'm okay.
Okay, I sent you messages in the chat to tell you.
I see him.
Okay.
It's like, I'm perfectly fine. I just wanted to reassure you that, like, Astra
okay.
is
I was like, oh no, that was very sudden, intense roleplay without any warning. So I wanted to make sure.
No, I mean that's what we're here for. This is perfectly okay. Astra was very clearly shaken by this with Loran, but she's trying to not make a deal out of it because she feels like she was in the wrong. And she does intend to make it up to Loran, but now is not that time.
Sure.
So she's going to give them space.
Also, will, looking at Astra and Droll, push them closer together, make them both little flower crowns, put them on their heads. There we go. Circle of friendship and all that.
I do not deserve this right now.
No, but you didn't argue with me, so I'm going to give one to everyone. If you take it off, I'll be personally offended. He turns around and starts giving everyone flower crowns.
As you guys are doing this, at the front, Bluey, Madam Sparks, the Sparkings.
I love that
story. Madam Sparks, the sparkly Sparks. So as you're walking, kind of just like absorbing all of this conversation, trying to keep your guard up, Loran and Myone are kind of just at your flank behind, like slightly behind you. So you're like in a victory formation. A flying V, I think that's what it's called. And Ilaria, just only a couple of steps ahead of you, is just chattering off, rattling off, speaking to you, occasionally turning to like the trees and like saying hello and like speaking like outwardly as well. And part of what she says to you, she says, yeah, it really is a shame you guys drove that guy into the woods. He without a guide, he will certainly perish.
You didn't go that far.
But you know what? He should have known that. He's lived near the Green Sea his entire life, and we are taught it's like swimming lessons. You like are taught to run up to the boundary and then run back, run up to the boundary and then run back. It's crazy. Anyway, you always need a guide. Isn't that right? And then she turns to a tree and goes, "Oh God, yeah, I know."
He just seemed very afraid, and he seemed very quick because he was afraid, and maybe he was more afraid of what he was afraid of then than what he knows to be afraid of here.
You think that you guys were scarier than what was in here?
Oh yes, Ulster calls out.
That's cute. I like that.
I definitely wasn't trying to be scary.
Fair enough. Your conversations are scary. Like I listen to you and I have no idea what you're on about.
I will put moss crowns on both of them suddenly from behind. Boo.
Thank you.
Cool, thanks.
Okay. He pats them both and skitters off to put one on the round.
Before you go, you hear that strange language again, and she speaks towards one of the rocks, and it's like, yeah.
Is it Druidic?
No.
Is it Primordial?
Do you speak Primordial?
I know one of my characters does, but I can't remember if it's also.
It might be Arius.
It might be Arius, yeah. I don't think it is Ulster. I can't find it, but
so you recognise it to be a very earthy kind of language. And also, make me a nature check. Sparks, you can make me an investigation check or a nature check, depending on what you prefer.
Also, just a small note, I think Astra would have probably tried to just hold Geral's hand if he would have let her.
Affection.
15, nature.
I'll get to that. Okay, nature 15. Sparks?
Nature 9.
Nature 9, okay. Okay, nature 9, nature 15. So both of you guys notice there's some sort of like disturbance amongst the greenery when she speaks. And Ulster, you specifically feel, just as you have a connection with natural surroundings, the shrubbery pulling back slightly, and the rocks kind of like moving aside.
You're a druid. You speak to trees.
I do speak to trees, yes. Everyone who grows up here and decides to become a guide has to learn how to speak to the forest. And if you are nice to the forest is nice to you.
So what are you saying to it?
I'm asking for permission to pass through, and if ever they deny permission, then we make camp. We get as far as we can. Usually, if they say no, it's for our own good. There are some stubborn trees you learn to avoid. But if they don't give you permission, then you can't.
Consent, don't we?
Loran looks at you like...
He gives a thumbs up. He's like...
And she's like, well, yeah. I mean, if you soil your relationship with the forest, how are you going to become a guide? They'll lead you to peril.
So true. We have to always ask permission wherever we go, with the trees and the rocks. Is that true for everywhere? Because I've actually never asked permission from trees or rocks before.
Not everywhere. The Green Sea serves a very particular and delicate purpose. So if we are to use it, we're asking an extra favour than what we've already asked of it.
Get it? Okay.
So everywhere else, it's fairly neutral. The trees are tended and protected by druids, and by nature, they offer shelter. Would you notice if, I don't know, let's say a snail moved into your house and like started living on your porch?
Yes.
Okay, well then think of all the times where you go to like pull up a weed and you see there's a ladybug on the leaf. You don't just pull it up. You let it be, or you try and gently move the ladybug to another leaf.
What are weeds?
I like you, you're funny. That's kind of what the forest is like, really. But yeah, like I said, there is deep, deep enchantment, and this wood has an ancient and difficult job to do. So we help it do it.
You said there's shelter. Does anyone live in the Green Sea with like houses and stuff?
There are people who live here. Small communities, though they are isolated and remain so for a very good reason. Or
isolated for a good reason. Are they spooky, scary?
Oh, the people who live here? No. Not the people who live here. The people who live here are just introverted.
I get it.
Closed off druidic communities with close-knit ties to nature, want to preserve their magics, that kind of thing, or their way of life, don't want to be...
Don't like people.
Yeah, it's big enough that you can live an entire life in here and the forest keeps changing, that you would never be bored or upset with what you saw.
Also looks at that. How do you feel about moving here?
No, absolutely not.
Why?
I like the city life.
Okay, we have a house here. A tree house?
Maybe. I mean, Alaria just shakes her head and says, it's unfortunately not really how it works. You do kind of have to be born into this.
Oh. Are there any forests in the Feywild that we can go to, Joanne?
Suppose there is some. There are plenty of forests up there.
Okay, we'll build a tree house there.
Alaria says, so there are some small communities that definitely don't, what's it called? Let people kind of come in, but anyone can leave. We're not isolationists like that. Imagine living somewhere where you weren't allowed to leave.
It's Ulster's turn to go pale, like
Sparks like
yeah, Sparks and Ulster stand together and they're just like, wow.
So where are you guys from?
With the M&Ms. Melas and the Messiah. Get it? The M&Ms.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Melas and the Messiah.
Melas. I've heard of that one.
You haven't heard of the Messiah?
I have heard of the Messiah, but I was specifically going to say something spooky about Melas.
He was like, you haven't heard of the largest continent on Earth? You no. Sorry.
Well, I've never left the country, so pardon me if I don't know it super well, but you know of it. By nature of living in the country a lot, yes, I have heard of Melas, and one of our assistants is pretty up in the airs at Melas there. You know who I'm talking about. Merrywin. Peace Feather. Yeah. She says, yeah. Mary's really the only person from Melas I've ever really met. She doesn't have the best things to say about it though, especially if you put a couple of pints in her.
Oh. How long have you known Merrywin?
15 years.
Can I get some?
Can I have some, please?
Yeah. Should we take some downstairs?
Should we maybe take the bowl? I can leave my mug. 15 years.
Can I insight check that?
You may, yeah. I don't remember if I said a specific age last.
You said you did say with 15 years that was how long Merrywin had been with the temple. So she was at least that old. So
yes, I think she's in her 30s. Yeah,
okay.
She's in her 30s, is what you roughly. So that makes sense. What did you roll? Oh, okay. I'm going to let you use this roll to get a little more information out of her than just insight. So, because it's such a good roll, I feel like it'd be a shame to waste it. She says, well, if you ask me, I am a-religious. I don't serve any deities. I don't serve any higher purpose. I can heal based off of natural remedies. I'm sure you understand. She points to Ulster. And I can use magic from the earth when I need more help. So for me, religion is something I look at with a very non-biased viewpoint. I really respect it, even if it's not for me.
And if I follow that with that being said, sort of thing.
That being said, if I had to pick a religion to follow, I don't know if I would pick Carmen Trand. I mean, you seem lovely, but the trees don't like her.
Oh.
Merrywyn, I mean, and I'm sure they wouldn't like Carmen Trand. Just a hunch.
Wait, they don't like Merrywyn?
Yeah, sorry, I should have clarified. The trees don't like Merrywyn.
Oh. Did they tell you why? Can you ask one of them who might know?
They say that she smells like death. And I wonder if... And she looks at you and looks at the trees. Would you mind if I test something?
Not at all.
Yeah. And she says, don't worry, I'm not going to throw you out of the forest if this goes weird.
Do they want to know what I smell like? Given that I've lived in Melas my whole life?
You're here now.
Or that I'm nominally with Carmen Trand. Anyway, yes, smell me.
Okay. Smell what? Thank you, that's nice cold water.
Okay. What a thing to walk in on, sorry.
I just put it on.
Oh my god. Yeah. I swear I put it on.
No.
Oh no. Oops. So, Ilaria takes you a little bit forward and has you put your hands on the root of a large oak tree. It bows over this path and almost like comes down to meet her. Some of the leaves falling in her hair and tickling her, and she goes, hee. And she asks the tree a question in Primordial. And the tree kind of like some of the branches, it's really strange because it's almost like when nature changes like in our world, you don't necessarily notice it change, it just slowly happens. It's almost like that same process, but very much spread up, where you turn around and there's a branch quite close to you and you just grab it, even though you don't really recall seeing a branch there before. You don't necessarily see it move, you sense it's there. And you kind of touch it, and you touch down the trunk and settle on the root, as Ilaria shows you. And the branch kind of tickles on your temple. And there's this kind of groaning noise. And Ilaria says, it is interesting because he says that you smell similar, but at the same time, not really of anything at all.
Oh.
Like there's a faintest scent of
Who are you protecting?
Harry, put your name in the goblet of fire.
Put your name in the goblet.
Oh shit! Sorry, I forgot he died. Oh,
I know.
Sorry.
I have very little love for the HP situation these days, but that is sad. Can't always untangle your childhood emotions very quickly.
No.
Anyway, so She says, it's odd, yeah, you don't really smell of anything. It's more like there's a perfume on you, which smells like melasse. But it's fading.
Quick, reapply.
Is that what you say? You are, yeah.
He sniffs blue.
You wouldn't be able to smell it.
Smells like scaled and sweat. Kind of like a lizard when you leave them under the sun. Sorry, that was not very nice. He pats Sparks. I just haven't smelled that many Dragon Balls.
Why don't you touch the root and see what you smell like, Ulster?
Anyway, aren't we all lizards being left under the sun?
We are.
Louis looks around at like none of the scaled people.
Except we can never become crustaceans.
Also starts telling you how a crustacean is the ideal body form, and as he goes, touch the root.
The tree seems to like you quite a lot. It comes down and kind of like,
hello, tree.
And she says, you smell like whiskey and raspberries. Apparently. Must be the food fight at the tavern.
It's not the worst thing to smell of.
Did anybody get that deeply, deeply veiled reference?
No.
Whiskey and strawberries?
Raspberries.
Raspberries. Whiskey and raspberries. No. Oh.
That's a very funny reference. Okay.
But you guys, secrets won't make any sense to y'all.
Also sniffs himself. I just smell dust.
Again, you're not. This is the tree sense.
Oh, thank you, tree. That's very complimentary.
Nobody else volunteers.
He grows a little raspberry on top of his finger and eats it.
Is that cannibalism?
Is it cannibalism? I don't know. Discuss amongst yourselves.
She says, wait, so if I did this, and she just bites the tip of her finger, and
that would be stupid because now you might get an infection.
But now I do this, and she grows a little grape.
That's fine.
Strange, isn't it? All right, onwards. And she keeps you all paddling on.
Can I keep an eye on the parties that are Loran and Astra?
Yes, you may. Astra, you attempt to reach out and hold Gerald's hand, and he goes, what are you doing? Are you trying to attack me?
Sorry. I'll leave you be.
Sneaking on people? Why did you do that? What was that? Tell me. I don't know what it was. He seems genuinely confused.
She just kind of shakes her head like she can't speak anymore.
Your reactions are odd to me. You seem deeply, deeply invested in our relationship. And between you and me alone, I feel this odd sensation, like we are kindred.
Long lost siblings.
Somehow.
Gerald would actually kind of like see that she's avoiding his gaze, which is something that she's never done. But if he catches sight of her face, he would see that she's just silently crying.
This is not the right NPC to be having this interaction with. He's like...
Can I insight check Astra?
If you're paying attention.
I am. I said I was looking at the two of them.
Yeah.
Keeping an eye. Astra, how much do I know about you if I get a 24?
She's deeply affected by what Loran said, but she doesn't want to make a deal out of it.
Can I, with the 24, can I know what in particular hurt Astra the most?
Honestly, the fact that she had hurt Loran so badly.
Okay. Okay. Continue with your interaction. I will react after.
Okay. Droll, again, like I said, Joral is definitely not the gentlest of NPCs. Are you comfortable? Well. No, are you comfortable with his earnest reaction, or would you rather me just pivot the scene away to something?
No, that's perfectly fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Because
let me just say that I am crying in character.
Oh no! Are you actually crying?
Yeah.
You want 5 minutes? We can take a break.
No, I'm okay.
So
I'm perfect. Like, I am okay. Like, legitimately, this is just
physically.
Is this like when Lincoln was in the dream sequence and he fucking died, and I was sobbing in front of 40 people on stream? I know that feeling.
It's more so like I'm feeling what my character is feeling, and it's coming out of my face.
Okay, I'm gonna go and take my glass downstairs. I'm gonna get some ice for my water. Should
we take 5 minutes?
And we're gonna take a 5-minute break. Is that okay?
Yeah, we can.
I think I want to because I need the loo as well. Anyway, okay, so then that'll give us some time, space to like decompress.
Get some tissues, get a plushie, give it a squish.
And I want you guys to know, obviously, these different NPCs, especially like Joral and Loran, can be volatile, and you know that's never me speaking to you through them, and I'm sorry if that ever does come off as too aggressive. If that ever does happen, you can just message me, and rather than playing a situation or a scenario out, you can describe to me what happens, and we don't have to actually say the words, or we could completely skip it altogether. Just so you all know, that's always fine. You can always say if something is too intense for you, can we just move past this? And I can very briefly describe, and we can maybe skip to the next scene that I have written down in my notes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
all good.
Not to draw you into it. I'm going to now go to the toilet and get some ice. We do love Astra. I was being very genuine in my comments and then in the chat.
I know. I love y'all, and I'm glad that we can explore these things in a safe space, even though these are very intense emotions that our characters are going through.
As long as it's always safe.
Yeah.
Can I have a reaction to Astra crying?
Yes, you can if you wish to.
Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, Astra did have probably something to say to Joral as well. Like.
Okay, so Astra, do you want to lead with what you wanted to say to Joral, and then also you can react after that.
Just in undercomment, she says, "I'm sorry. I." Forget it ever happened.
I may have killed teenagers, but I'm not a monster. Roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
I may have killed teenagers, but I'm not a monster. I'm going to write that down.
Astra?
What am I persuading for?
This is like passive. Imagine it's like a passive persuasion. Like whether or not your reaction to an event that you initiated can have an effect after the fact on a player, on a non-player character, I think is how I would put it.
Chicken. Sorry, we call Lala chicken.
That is with advantage a 17 plus 6, 23.
Chicken. Come here. Can I grab chicken?
He holds out his hand.
She just kind of like grips it and just like you can tell she's just seeking some sort of comfort that she doesn't feel like she deserves.
She's just a Beppis. Okay. And Droll's like, sorrows, prayers,
My turn for the chicken.
prayers.
My turn for the chicken. Sorry.
You can tell though there is a genuine
What are you doing when you're
attempt at connection there, for all of his chaos. And then there's that sort of look, that familiar look, that's something that you've actually started to see more often, of just like a confusion as to why this is happening. Like, why is he acting this way? Why is he opening himself up? And it seems to be like he doesn't even really know. So, Ulster, did you want to add anything?
I wanted to do a small thing. I think seeing Astra's distress, I think also it's kind of like walking in between Loran and Astra, obviously at opposite ends of the party. I think he's kind of like turning back and forth, and then he starts walking backwards, and he sees that they're having a moment. So he doesn't intrude, but I think he just waves his hand, and from Astra's crown, hydrangeas start to bloom. I think that is the correct flower from the previous campaign.
It is.
So yes, hydrangeas start to bloom from Astra's crown until their head is like completely enshrouded up here by them. He's like, good, excellent.
Lala's avoided your cosplay.
Thank you, Lala.
I think, like, just kind of in reaction to, like, kind of noticing this and knowing what they mean, like, Gerald just feels her kind of, like, shudder. Like, but still trying to restrain those tears.
Also, we'll turn around to give them privacy, and he'll go back up next to Loran and lace their arms together. Cheer up.
He nods. So, all of you now, talking amongst yourselves and such, you begin to feel the depth and the density of this forestry. And every now and again you hear noises like a crack in the trees, something that definitely wasn't just from natural movement. You hear strange calls and animals that you don't usually hear in the wilds of Aprea. And
can I point out the ones that I recognize?
Oh, yes, you can. You recognize. Hang on a second. So you recognize the call of Hobgoblin.
Another one caught in the webbing of a giant spider up ahead.
You hear you hear a familiar, like kind of like coarse tone of hobgoblins kind of passing by, and I would like all of you to make a stealth check, please.
Oh.
Ilaria says, "Down here. I'll speak to the trees to give us some cover."
Speak to the trees.
And you guys can roll with advantage.
Oh, wait, stealth. So I roll flat now.
Flat now.
17.
Okay.
I'm kind
I'll
of
take it.
impressed.
16.
I also got a 16.
And flat for my own 6. Okay. You guys managed to kind of like hide behind some shrubbery as a group of group of hobgoblins. It's about fuck. No, I'm gonna ignore the latter half of that sentence. As 10 or so.
No, I was trying to get the shrubbery gift.
10 or so hobgoblins, 3 of them being injured, being carried on little stretchers, walk past you, and speak something in Goblin that you guys don't really recognize, and disappear into the wilderness. Only one looks back and peers close as you guys see the last dying light coming through the treetops reflect slightly on Myone's armor, and she covers it with her hand. And
She covers her boobies.
the boobies. And the goblin looks and moves back.
Lala, that's so considerate of you not to sleep on my cosplay. But can you stop clawing that? Lala! No! Oh,
Look at him! He said. And you guys are able to avoid this encounter. And Ilaria says, you know, this is as good a place as any to rest for the night. What do you guys say?
Does that mean we get to sit set up in hammocks?
Indeed it does. And so she goes to each tree in like a kind of small radius and asks them for permission. And she says, only one of them said no.
Which one?
They're going through something right now. This one. She points to a yew tree that looks a little bit sick.
Okay, we won't touch you.
Okay.
I'm gonna sidle up again. Hammock buddies?
Hammock buddies. Sparks?
To Ilaria, if that yew tree is sick, could maybe my magic help? Not in the aim to use that tree as a hammock, but to just help the tree. Could I do something?
You want to try and heal it? I can ask it if it wants help. Okay. She goes up to the tree and says, and the tree kind of rattles, and as it does, a couple of leaves fall, and they look quite dry and brittle. And she says, you're welcome to try, but if you fail, they may become hostile to you. Which basically means they'll just give you lots of splinters and stab you up the ass.
Sometimes you should just let things die.
It's not dying, it's like it's got a cold.
Also picks up one of the leaves and... Well, it's gonna die for the winter, at least.
It's spring.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. It's summer. It's not winter yet.
I would like to try and help, and I am happy to suffer any consequential splinters.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
I am I'm gonna do with the lay on hands.
11.
I'm going to, I believe, cure a disease rather than neutralize a poison. I think if anything, it might be some sort of natural disease. It sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
So I will deplete 5 points. I think, at the trunk of this tree, sort of going.
Mm-hmm.
I hope this helps. I'm thinking of the good feeling that I've come to learn may not be associated with the thing that you might be thinking smells of death. So I'm going to try and draw from that. And then puts a hand on a root.
You draw a hand towards the root. And you feel your magic kind of push out of you. And it seeps into the tree. And the brittle kind of leaves gain a little bit of shape. Not a lot. There is still the natural weather and the seasons changing to deal with. To compete with, sorry. But it looks more like the others around it. You've at very least, if it is ill or if it is on its way out, like Ulster might think, you've eased its pain. And
you've sedated
it kind of gives you that same kind of leaf shake and lets the leaves kind of fall into your hair. And then takes a step back.
Thank you. I hope you recover. I know you can't understand me. Maybe. Or maybe you can. I'm sorry if you can't understand me and I just insinuated that you couldn't. And if you can't understand it, then I'm sorry that I keep on. All right. Yeah, have a good one. All right. Mm-hmm. She'll move away.
Okay.
Can we set up our hammocks whilst Sparks?
You guys all set up your hammocks. Ilaria suggests a watch pattern, and you guys can watch with whoever you prefer.
I'll go with Loran.
No surprises there. And me. Shigenwaft asks, so how are we going to have a nightly hearty meal? Are we allowed to cast a flame in these trees? And Ilaria says, oh, no, but I have, don't worry, I can heat up some rocks to heat up our stew. And I will do so, because I know how this place works. Everybody step back. No fire, no open flames. And she starts digging a pit and lining it with this kind of like
he's promptly
soft
look.
with this soft like gauze like metal material. And then fleece on the outside, and she just says, just keep it all insulated, you know.
If it would help be less intrusive to the nature, I could also I can cast some magic to provide sustenance for a day's.
Yeah, if you want to. What are you going to do?
Astra just kind of like opens her hands and 10 blackberries or good berries form.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. So everybody is given a berry, and Ilaria says, right, well, I guess I'll make some tea, and we can all sit around the fire and get to know each other.
I can give you some of the tea I pre-made.
Cool. And she starts pouring water from her water skin into a small jug, and she adds a blackberry to her cup. Just stirs it in to sweeten her tea.
Herbs.
You hand the tea. Blackberry and herb tea.
I feel like it works kind of like the elven lemba spread. You just like take like a nibble, and you just are immediately like super full.
Except Shigenwaft, who's like,
I had 4.
Does Goodberry heal 1 HP or something like that?
I think it's like a D4.
Oh.
Let me check.
I think it's 1 HP per.
No, it is 1 HP. 1 HP. You are correct.
Okay, cool. All right.
Too much Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate's a D4.
Ah.
That's pretty good, actually. Who wants to watch first?
my own puts up and says, I'll do it.
Well, then obviously Sparks will want to go.
I'm happy with whoever.
I'm happy with whoever.
All stare elbows Sparks.
Make a decision. Why don't you?
She would love to.
She puts her hand up to you, Allstar, and says, "Stop."
What?
You. What's Blue? Come over here.
Blue is not smiling as much. I'm smiling.
That scene. It's like Baldur's Gate. Blue, you walk forwards. My own comes out from behind a tree. She's like, "What are your designs? What is it that you are planning here?"
Well, really, I don't know if you heard much of the tree business when Ilaria was leading us. And do you remember much of Merowyn when I briefly introduced you to her before we set off?
I do.
I'm just I'm troubled. I am troubled. I find it weird that as always, did she say as always?
As am I, but you as always.
This is funny. My designs here, I want to lean into whatever happens to be what the trees think doesn't smell like death. I'd never heard of Merowyn, and I find that really weird. And then something weird happened that I think only I saw.
What was that?
While her mouth was saying something else, I heard in my head, "What are you protecting?" I think. I've had encounters, plural, with at least once someone asking me, desperately wanting to know what I'm protecting. And it's like it's a cold feeling. It's like it's a nothingness, but it
Come here.
negative space.
Come close. Closer.
I can't move my chair in, but
yeah, I know. And she goes, "Stop there," and puts her hand up to your face and grabs your forehead. Hang on a moment.
What's she better do? You, my friend, need to chill out with some drugs. So she's meant to.
Drugs?
Okay. She says, "Open your mind to me."
Oh.
Do it willingly. Do not resist.
Hello.
You have the choice to resist.
I feel like if anything, Sparks will try her hardest not to resist. It feels like resisting isn't some sort of natural inclination, but she's trying hard not to.
Okay.
I want to be open.
Okay. You choose to fail the save.
I guess.
You feel something like cold in your mind as you see her eyes kind of like, her pupils dilate and she like stares intently at you. And after a moment she pulls her hand back and goes,
Is that a form of magic?
"You don't belong here. Just as much as I don't."
What?
This is not your world.
What? Is it a bad rap for Githyanki too, as well as Dragonborn? Or
Huh.
sorry, that's my phone telling me to shower, but not yet.
The Githyanki. The Githyanki have psionic abilities. We can move in ways others cannot. And I came here through a hole, a tear, that should not have been where it was. Me and my companions, the other two you saw. It feels to me, from just a cursory glance of your mind, that you have a foot in two worlds, one here and one in mine.
Your world? What?
Come from another place. To speak its name would be driving you to madness. So I will not, though you should feel privileged at that. There are many I have not been so kind towards. Heed my warning, Sparks. do not pursue knowledge or creatures or things you are not ready to understand. For if you push too far, you will not be able to step back, and the careful balance that you have will be disrupted. You may have one foot in this world and one in another, but that can always change. I wouldn't be surprised if the same was said for your companions.
Look, I'm sorry. My whole life has been spent in Melas. That's something I know. That's something I remember, and as I've been coming to understand, it's something that's shaped me in ways that might be adverse to keeping an eye out on what's happening around you and actively trying to help.
Okay.
How can I be part of another world where I don't even have an idea of what the name of it could be?
Knowledge is danger. Sometimes it's better to not know. For there are creatures out there that can sense your mind and know it better than we do.
I'm struggling
To understand?
I'm struggling to. Is there something you can show me that could somehow prove to me
Hang on, sorry.
what you're saying? Or no?
Hang on, Lily needs help getting something upstairs. Is there something that I can show you? Okay, hold on to that thought. I'll be really quick.
Look at, I was about to say, the two cats, and knowledge. Lamborghini. Is Leah a knowledge cleric?
Nar.
No. I watched a very interesting video on I guess dial or accents. A channel that does stuff like that on the Honor, and the different sounds and how that sort of R sound is. It's not like universal in the Australian accents, plural, because there's a few of them, but it does seem to be a trend of an increasing proportion of people, young people, having that part accent thing. Can I send you that video?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Oh no, Claire.
But yeah, my cat stabbed me.
That's not very nice.
It was an accident. But
okay.
Hi, sweet boy. I know you're hungry. Breakfast time, maybe.
Sharp boy.
Meow.
Meow.
Would you prefer it over Messenger or Discord?
Either is good.
Now I'm holding him. I can feel him about to escape. Our delivery food came. So, right, immediately coming back into it, because I don't want to lose the momentum, because I really am enjoying this scene. You said, what did you say?
I said, is there something you can show me that can
Prove what I'm saying.
This. Are you saying something has been done to me?
Not to you. I believe something has been done to the multiverse. I think this is bigger than everyone, and bigger than all of us. And we are merely feeling its side effects. We must be careful. We must be. Because, like I said, knowledge can destroy your mind as much as it can enlighten it. What can I show you? I do not know. Let me think. Meanwhile, if anybody wants to have PC to PC interaction, also Google this.
I think we're just setting up our hammocks, right?
Yeah.
Also, we'll add to the berries some fruits and stuff. They're not going to have the same benefit, but just for a bit of taste variation.
Mm-hmm.
Before we head off to bed.
Sure.
Touch him. The last time we ever met, and I can feel it cold in the air tonight. Oh no.
In my past, my people made a pact. The Gith and the dragons. I believe that we should trust each other. I know I have nothing that I can show you. But your people have been trustworthy in the past, and there are not many in my home who are kind.
Emma?
Yes.
Would there be anything in Bluey's memory of like the Githyanki as like peoples and the relation to dragon/dragonborn? Is there like is that a fact with like precedent?
Something you would know?
Yeah.
No, there is nothing you can take but her word, really. I think she says to you, my word is my bond. She'll reach from her side bag and pull out the feather from her fallen eagle. This is all I have to do. Yes.
I don't want to take the feather away. Come on.
Natural 20. Okay, cool. Can you trust me just a little further? She's being honest with you. And she didn't hurt you when she delved into your mind. There is, however, something that sticks to you, which concerns you, which is, she keeps repeating, knowledge can break your mind, and that kind of thing. And she made a face when she pulled away from your detect thoughts that looked a little strange. And you get the impression that she might have seen something that she's not telling you, that you don't know yourself, about your own thoughts or your own mind. Complicated honesty.
Are you able to tell me everything you saw in here?
She reaches up for your face and touches your forehead, and then slips her hand down to your chin and pulls you forward and says,
Ooh.
Sorry.
Ooh.
but she doesn't kiss you.
Despite Sparks' deepest wishes.
She says, I like you a little bit too much to tell you.
Oh. Hello, what? Hello, what?
Okay, have you heard the? Okay, if my head, if my memories are like data, are you able to tell me the metadata, like the stuff about, like, not the things themselves, but what they concern?
You are fighting a very, very formidable darkness. And no one here can understand. And no one here can help you.
Haven't you seen it? Are you able to understand it, or no? Because you're a person, you know. Don't discount yourself if that's the case.
She lets go of your chin and puts her hand on your chest and steps back. I have forgotten myself. You would do best to do the same. And she steps back and heads towards her hammock.
What? I thought you guys were doing watch together.
She sits on her hammock and watches.
Grumpily.
I'm sorry I just talked about myself, by the way. If
Oh no. She looks. Okay, wait a second. If this is a video game cutscene, this is where it would end. But it's fucking D&D, so you have the power to keep on prying. So she looks over at you and it's like, can't you read the room?
No, I'm autistic.
I'm autistic, ADHD.
I literally can't. Did you see that meme, which was the mom was like, my mom doesn't believe that I can't read social cues, and it was a text where the person was like, I'm literally autistic and can't read the room, and the mum was like, yes, but you're just pretending not to read the room, aren't you? And I was like, ah! Yeah. We love supportive parents. Carry on.
It's like the other way around.
I know. So you're pretending I can. Anyway.
We're going to send that to the top.
God, she She doesn't really. She can't really say. There's nothing else that she can really say to you without further prompting. So if you want to try and dig deeper, you're going to have to roll for it.
Is that a challenge, Emma?
If you like to.
Also, you guys should probably roll the reward.
Oh yeah, we probably should look out. I think Sparks would take this opportunity to. Are people still awake?
They can be. Anyone can be resting if they wish to be, especially the elven individuals amongst you, which is quite a few. But Sparks, can you roll me a I forget what way we're doing it. Have we been rolling d20s? We have been. We're rolling perception checks. Okay, roll me a perception check.
Alright.
My own also do the same. And she's shit at it.
Ooh, I know I have I do have plus. This is 17 perception.
Okay. For a 17 perception,
the the things that mattered.
You're rolling really well today. Yeah. For a 17 perception, you look around and don't really notice anything. Nothing too distracting, nothing alarming. My own seems to be a bit lost in their own thoughts.
I think Sparks would go to the pot of tea and sort of sit down near the hot rocks and have the tea and just sort of stare at the ground.
Right, your guys' watch passes, and next up, who wants to go next?
Okay.
Ulster and Loran?
Yeah.
Okay. So Ulster, you and Loran set up your camp, and you are quite a little ways off the ground, with the carpet kind of pretty useless, unfortunately, because of the density of the forestry. Oh, he's so fucking cute. The density of the forestry. But it is underneath you guys to sort of act as a protective little stabilizer so that you don't have to worry about falling out of the hammock or anything.
I like to think that they thought that this was going to be super romantic in the hammock together, but actually there's just barely any room.
They're crushed together, and it's I was all right, we're doing watch, so let's sit up and then recalibrate. Okay, they both sit up, and you guys can sit on the edge of the carpet. From this vantage point, you see the whole of your camp laid out. Ilaria, with a big yawn and wearing a thick kind of cloak for warmth, has now stamped out the last of the tea pit and is cuddled up in a little hole filled with some moss. And the rest of you guys are sleeping or otherwise staring. And Loran just sort of watches out over the camp.
Also kind of scoots over and then scoots even closer, presses their shoulders together. So, do you want to talk about it? You can say no.
I've been thinking too much about it over the last few days. I don't know what to say, really. Part of me wants to. Part of me doesn't want to burden you with more pain.
Ulster kind of takes Loran's hand and folds it into his lap and kind of pats it. You don't ever have to worry about burdening me with more pain. After all, we're getting married, so we're going to have to share a lot of pain and good things, but also pain and good things.
And pain.
And pain.
Good things.
Are you making fun of me?
A little bit. But you like it. He puts his hand on the back of your neck and then pulls you in for a kiss and holds you there for a moment. But then when he breaks away, he just says, also, I know I'm not weirded out by your age, by the way. I was just taken off guard for a moment. If you'd been a human, I would have been more upset, I assure you. You're definitely not. No, and he pokes your ears. Very long. Very long.
Yeah. I was thinking I should get them pierced.
I can do it for you.
Maybe not in the forest, though, because I'll probably get a fungal infection.
Not if I do it. I pierced my ear 5 times in one day, you know. Let me do it. Please.
Sure.
Okay, right. Turn to the side.
He kind of sweeps his hair out.
Lauren casts prestidigitation on your ear to clean it properly. And he says, right, can you make me a very strong needle?
Can I make one out of ice?
Yeah.
Okay, Ulster makes one out of ice.
Yeah. And Lauren kind of like uses mage hand so the heat of his hand doesn't melt it. And he sort of gets like some, like breaks off the end of the ice and just like uses it to cool your ear down. He says, earring, it'll have to be one that can stay in a while. And he just pulls one out of his ear and prestidigitation cleans it. Okay.
Sharing earrings now.
Oh, I know. 3, 2, 1.
Ow.
And he presses the earring into your ear. And there's a little, like, swell, but no blood. There you
Also
are.
kind of fiddles with it and then's like, I shouldn't do that.
No, that'll hurt. Especially if it gets infected, it'll hurt. I know someone who had their earring ripped out backwards out of their ear.
Stop it. Stop it. Trauma.
That was Lily, by the way.
Yes, it was Lily.
Your second got
second
compacted
got-
in New Zealand?
Yeah. Let's not talk about that. That was the most horrific pain ever. Apart from my migraine, that was also very horrific.
Oh.
Ulster, like, looks pleased. Well, my father will like this even less, so.
Kind of think it makes me like it more.
He doesn't know, by the way,
About what?
that Lucas isn't going to mine and Pico's wedding. He's coming to ours.
That's also kind of funny.
Lucas won't care.
Not ashamed of me, are you?
Definitely not.
Are you sure?
Why would I be ashamed of you?
Because of my reputation.
Your reputation doesn't concern me. Also, this isn't the Feywild, so there's very few people, I think, that would care.
More than you think. Especially across the pond.
What do you mean across the pond? In Kalkan? Well, what matters is I don't care. So, do you care?
I care enough. I care enough to tell you, I think. Let me just think of how to say it. Guys. Hang on. You all know Loran's past trauma. I think that he would tell Ulster this at this point, but if anybody is uncomfortable with discussion surrounding that, I'm really happy if anybody wants to stop listening, or I don't think we'll go into detail, we never do, or wants to log off very briefly whilst we chat about it, and then in the chat I will give you guys a little fireball when we're ready to resume if you'd like to not hear the conversation. You can choose. I won't do it immediately. So if you want to take some time to think about it, that's okay.
I would like to request maybe that we don't go into any...
There is never in this game. Never in this game. I mean more like the aftermath.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, I think Loran would...
Oh, I have an idea if you want to play it this way.
Mm-hmm.
You wait for a second, I'll run it by you.
He says, I'm just struggling to find... There was a woman who I... What do I say? How do I say it?
You could show me how you feel.
I don't want you to see anything.
I don't think
I have these...
How it works.
What do you intend?
Well, you know how I said I can feel things about people? Would you trust me?
Okay.
He kind of reaches out and puts his fingers on Loran's temples and bumps their foreheads together. And he will use one of his points to cast Detect Thoughts on Loran if he lets him.
Okay. Recognizing the spell, Ulster, Loran would say, don't dig too deep.
I won't push too deep.
Okay.
That's what she said, sorry.
Ho 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 ho. And you see it. No, you receive the information. You don't see anything, obviously. You receive the information Loran is trying to convey, and he pulls away from you first. Stupid thing to get hung up on, really.
If Loran lets him, Ulster will hug him and hold him.
Of course he does.
And he just strokes Loran's hair back and says by his ear, I know I'm not much, but I will always protect you.
You're incredibly powerful and scary.
And I think he'll just hold him, and unless Loran wants to speak, I think he'll just hold him and keep stroking his hair.
He'll just say, part of me wishes she hadn't ruined my reputation as well. If it had just been the first thing, I might have been able to actually talk about it. But she took my family away from me.
No one can take your family away from you.
I can't get them back now. Maybe once, Saraza wasn't her fault. But he has a lot to answer for now. And I can't forget that.
Well, in my opinion, which may or may not have any bearing in your situation, you're the one who decides whether you move forward with the relationship. Or sneeze. Thanks. But you can also be the one to end it. But it has to be your choice. And if you think that it's worth salvaging, I don't want you to lose something out of your control when it could be in your control.
Make a persuasion check.
14 plus. Hold on. Plus 2, 16.
Almost convinced me to go and talk to Astra about it, but I won't wake her up from her sleep.
You know, if you felt like it, if there is a member of your family that you missed, you could invite them to. He kind of points at the ring.
It's complicated. Whilst my parents didn't do anything wrong, They didn't protect me either. Of course they fought. Of course they fought for me in their own way. But there were plenty, looking back, there were plenty of signs that there was something going on. That there was something wrong before the worst happened. Part of me doesn't really trust them, but...
But do you hate them?
I hate a couple people. I hate one person especially. But not my family. Perhaps my mother would make a good party guest. My father was never one for outings.
Then why don't we try and invite her?
Alright. Not tonight, though. We'll do that later. Too much to think about. And the wedding's not for a few weeks.
Ulster kind of positions Loran so that he can lie down. And he makes him a little pillow of moss. I'll do the rest of the watch. You just rest.
I'll watch you.
You can watch me.
Ulster, can you roll me a d20 perception check, please?
16 plus 6 is 22.
With a 22, you look around. Okay. Can you roll me d100?
88. Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Okay.
I rolled a 66 in a game the other day, and I was like,
Sure.
that's cursed.
Ulster, after using that spell, you felt your mind kind of bend a little bit.
He's like, whoa, those drugs are still in my system.
Whether it's you being high or whether pushing into divination magic is taking you a bit too close to a unstable headspace. You manage to recover slightly, partially excusing Loran from the watch so that you can nurse your migraine without him really noticing. In the distance, when you look out, you notice something very, very odd. Odd beyond reason, almost.
Okay.
In just off the path outside of your camp. And this is a path, obviously, that Alara has made, so it's not trodden, like well trodden at all. It's unique to her. There is a small structure that looks to be made of some kind of glass that you did not notice before up until that point, despite the fact that it is quite unique in its makeup.
Okay. Is Loran still awake? I'm guessing he's just lying down.
He's got his eyes just kind of lightly closed and is just humming to himself.
Also kind of squints in the direction of the structure. I thought you said there were no... I'm just gonna... He wakes up. Sorry, I know I said you could sleep, but can you see this? And he pulls him up to show him the direction.
He looks over and he looks confused and he says, yes. I didn't think there were houses out here.
That's what I thought.
Or abodes made of
Glass?
Hold
on. Ulster will slip down and kind of climb down the tree nearest them.
Loran will drop down, kind of cat-like, and follow you.
I'm just
we should be quiet if we're investigating before the others are awake.
But I just want to... Hold on. And he goes over to Ilaria. and gives her a tiny shake.
Laura kind of, oh, hello.
Take over the watch.
Why?
We're just going to investigate something.
No.
What?
I'm coming with you.
We
If we
need
move,
someone to-
everyone moves.
It's just over there. You can see us the whole time.
She looks over. Mm.
If we want to be stealthy, we should probably go in a smaller group.
But 2 is not enough. Take 2 more or 3 more with you.
Okay, he'll leave Bluey and Myone asleep, because otherwise they're not going to get their full rest. He'll go over to wake Jarell and Astra.
You also know that this isn't enough time for you guys to get a full rest either, just so you know.
No, I know.
You guys haven't had a long rest yet.
I know, but instead of waking them up and not giving them a chance to get a full rest, he will wake up Astra and Jarell.
Okay, Astra and Jarell.
Okay, Myone. No, sorry, not Myone. Alaria.
Yeah.
Can you stay at camp and watch over?
Can you stay at camp?
Can you stay at camp?
Fine, I thought we had something special.
Dark.
Okay.
Astra, you stay with me. Loran, Jarell will buddy up. And he will make a beeline for the building.
Okay.
Just for clarity, Ulster is waking Astra and Jarell. Jarell is going to stay at camp with Loran to continue the watch.
No. So we're going to approach the building. If by any chance we need to split up, Ulster is saying he'll go with Astra as his buddy, knowing that there's obviously tension between party members. And then Alaria is watching the camp. He will explain all of this again.
Loran looks a little uncomfortable at having to go with Jarell, considering he called him that earlier.
It'd be a good chance for you to repair your friendship.
I prefer to stick with you. Oh.
We're not actually going to split up. We're just walking in tandem. He loops his arm with Astra and starts walking.
You guys are going to have to stealth if you want to approach this with any delicacy.
Ooh, dirty 20.
Oh my fucking god.
Oh
no. Astra, what did you roll?
Oh no.
16.
So we're doing okay. We're doing pretty good.
Jarell got a 3 plus 9 is... he's advantage. Okay, he got an 18, that's fine. And Loran...
He's quite cat-like.
but it's about his stealth score on a 4 roll is going to be a bit difficult. Let me just check.
He's so pissed off about having to go with Jarell. He stomps.
It's not the fuck, man.
How could you beat this?
He got 7. He got a 7.
Scratching.
So he is not happy, and he kind of like when he takes a step, there's like a crunching sound, and you see this like piece of glass, or also on closer inspection, you find it to be ice.
Oh no! Okay.
Crack beneath his foot.
Can I examine the ice?
But you guys are overall stealthed enough. Yes, you pick it up.
Can I roll an Arcana check to see if it's natural ice or enchanted ice?
Okay. Yes, roll it for me.
14 plus 5. 19.
Okay. With 19, it is enchanted ice.
It's like the stuff we use in the palace. And he kind of tucks it away and keeps going.
You come towards this structure, and the path begins to split. Oh god, the page reloaded. Come on.
Basil is asleep. He looks like white chocolate.
Oh, I love you very much. Oh, I love you very much. Oh, I love you very much. Sorry, I'm so obsessed with him. You see the path begin to steeply kind of pit downwards, and you realize that this structure that you've seen, you're actually looking at the very top of it, and it is buried deep into the ground. And there is a clear, clearly this has been attacked or destroyed in some way, and is like kind of only partially built. You can see down through the roof of this building, which is at your like chest height.
It's like the library in Avatar. It's like buried in the ground.
Yeah, slightly.
Okay.
And he and you can sort of see the floor of it, but not entirely. There is a steep path that leads down to what appears to be an entrance, though.
Do I recognize this building?
Yes, you do. This is the throne room to the Masai, the Ice Palace. And
also kind of stops.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this is not normal.
Is something wrong?
He kind of looks at Astra as if unsure, and then to Doral. You don't think this could be Karul playing some sort of trick?
Luring us away from safety
Doral,
into the middle of the night?
Doral looks down and says, I wouldn't put it past him, but I'm not sure. I'd have to look closer.
Well, also kind of skirts the edge of it and then goes to the entrance. This is the way in. It feels real, though. He kind of runs his hand along the ice.
It does feel real. Ulster, another thing you notice, and Astra, now that you've had your arm swallowed by these things, you also notice that the darkness and the shadows pulling around the building are deeper and richer than they should be. And they sort of begin at the edges of this kind of like sinking sort of like hole in the ground where the throne room is. Also, the only thing you notice about this structure is that it's much smaller, but on the same sort of a similar kind of like setup, just like shorter rather than long and narrow than the throne room should be. Almost like it's been crushed into this space. And when you peer around, one of the doors is kind of broken, leaning forwards on one of its hinges. You can see through a gap. There's actually a seam in the floor with like a huge kind of like wall of ice, almost like crystal growth, where it's clearly been crushed together, and you can't actually see really past that space.
Also, I will, unless there's any obvious...
Anna, look at the Facebook chat. Yes.
Unless there's any obvious shadows or rifts in his path, he will go inside. I think he's curious.
I don't think this is a good idea. I think we should return.
But if we don't investigate, who knows what could come out of here?
Yes, but we are safer as a group.
Then come with me.
Loran also pulls on your arm, Ulster, and says the same thing. Essentially, he says, well, it's better if we move in a team.
You want to wait for the others up?
Yes.
I think we should return.
Also takes his sending stone. Hello, Sparks.
Anna, did you look at the Facebook chat?
And he keeps chanting until you wake up.
Astra,
did you do what I asked?
I was visiting the loo, so I have not.
I'm going to visit the loo quickly.
I'm also going to visit the loo after you. Look at the Facebook chat, please.
Oh, okay. Oh no. Oh no, this... Ever. Okay, you're not hearing any dice rattling. You know what, let's just... No dice rattling. That purple there.
Oh wow!
Oh,
good
you.
stuff.
Oh, amazing.
Fuck.
Okay, Bluey.
Bluey gets a Chad George. If anyone was wondering, that makes 24, but that is indeed an actual 20.
Bluey,
What does this mean? Yeah.
you wake up with a start and you immediately just scramble to your feet, standing up, knowing there is something wrong. And you look down to where you were lying, and you know the impression of, like, when you lie down somewhere, you can kind of see the impression of a human where they were. Your impression, the sort of like the depth of it, the shadows, sunken. It's almost as if you were being pulled into something, and you like kind of pull back your like hammock and like your bedroll where you're lying, rip it from the tree, and you see a sort of like bluey-sized black shadow underneath where you are lying.
Oh.
That is kind of warped the tree line around it. And the moment that you see it, you blink and it's gone. And you hear in your head, everybody up.
Yeah, you hear Ulster like chanting.
Do you wake up like Shigenwaft or
No.
just leave him? Yeah, okay. Him and Alaria can stay behind, I'm sure. Yeah. That's fine.
No, I think he would leave Myoun and Shigenwaft together.
Okay, so you just bring
I think he'd bring Alaria.
Okay, cool. Alaria and
like, can you bring Alaria? Can you bring Alaria?
I actually have some input. I think we should regroup back with Alaria instead of at this place that is unknown. Because we do not know the dangers here, and if something comes out of it, they can come to us, where we can set up.
Ulster backs up 50 feet away from the thing.
Okay.
Alright, he just goes over and nudges Alaria and Blue with his foot. Come on. Up.
Okay. You guys are all at the camp regrouped. I'm going to go to the toilet very quickly. Whilst you guys discuss.
Sorry, how come you're all up?
Ulster kind of angles you so you can see the crushed like bit of the ice palace. Yeah, that's not supposed to be there. That's part of my home. Or at least my dwelling, my abode back in the Maasai. It shouldn't be there.
Right. That is weird. Sorry. I woke up and felt something. If I didn't know any better, I'd be like, oh, it's the dark light playing tricks on my eyes. But I've seen space warping before and darkness.
Does anyone have
too dark
light that they can cast?
This Bluey. No, she does not.
Astra does like a flick of the wrist and like dancing lights appear around the group.
Okay. Emma, does dancing lights have any effect on the shadows? Let me see.
Right. Which ones? Which ones?
Which shadows? I don't know.
Was this in regards to
Bluey's shadows or the deeper shadows around the structure?
Also, just suggested they cast some light to keep the shadows off them.
Okay, yes, I see what you mean. So you cast dancing lights. You kind of can have a moat around yourselves, and obviously that gives you sort of a light. It's going to make it a disadvantage on stealth, but you think it might be worth it just to make sure that you have a precaution.
Okay. Put the lights on.
It's nice being able to see, but it may not. What I saw might not just be about me seeing.
No, I saw
clearly.
them too.
You both saw.
And Drell's looking at it as well, and Alaria is also very confused. This is not here. Let me ask the trees. and she goes over to one of the trees and sort of starts speaking to it. And she looks really confused, and she comes back and she says, only we can see it. Have you ever experienced anything like this before?
Sparks has.
Seeing something
Laran
that...
looks at you when you say that.
Seeing something that's not there for everyone?
I suppose.
But this is my house.
Then it must be connected to you, Ulster. I suppose only you can know how to proceed. That's usually the logic of these things.
Well, if we try and leave, if we try and run away from shadows, we're going to lose. So why not prepare and take a look at it? Maybe it's a sign from something.
Or someone.
I thought it could be Karul at first, but I've never known. This is a very powerful illusion if it is from him. I'm going to look at it, but you have to come.
You don't think it would be hanging around until the morning, do you?
Are you happy to sleep right now?
Bluey looks at her hammock. I could cop some not having slept a bit, I think. I don't know.
I'm going to go inside. You don't have to come with me. If anything happens, I can teleport my way out. People who can't teleport or transform, I understand maybe you wouldn't want to.
If you're going in, I will go.
Okay.
And then Laran says, obviously. Done.
I think looking at my own and then back at you, Ulster, Spark says,
My own looks very quiet, actually.
I think I'd have to come too.
My own says...
Oh, she's awake.
Oh yeah, they're not going to be just asleep whilst you guys are talking. They're going to wake up. If they're being left behind, they'll be in the camp awake. My own says, it is not fear that keeps me from pursuing this or looking at it.
Oh, she's not even looking at the structure.
No, she's looking at it, but looking at it closer. It is certainty that it will lead us too deep, too fast.
Would we learn too much?
What are you on about?
My own shakes the head at you. Yes. But she doesn't expand on it.
Okay, so only you two can know the big scary secrets. Well, if you want to keep it between yourselves, Ulster starts walking to the ice structure.
I think my own actually reaches out and holds you back.
Get off me.
Wait! When she touches you, Ulster, you hear a kind of like crack and the ice sort of begins to kind of like crumble slightly and she pulls away.
Don't touch me. And he will keep walking.
Did that start to collapse?
You can hear the ice palace is like partially collapsed now. Not the foundation of it, but the roof is kind of caving in a little bit.
Ulster starts to almost sprint towards it. He wants to know what's going on.
Okay.
You could outpace him if you wanted. He has little legs.
Yeah. I think Sparks will follow.
Okay. Ulster's going, he's not stealthing anymore. I think he just wants to take a look inside.
Okay. You go up to the, you're going to have to go up to either the doors or a hole in the ceiling to get through. But the ceiling looks very fragile.
Yeah, also if it's the same structure as the throne room, the ceiling's very high.
I think Laramwood could be convinced to offer his carpet if you needed it, but he wouldn't offer it voluntarily. You'd have to ask him.
I think Ulster is quite committed to being the first person to see inside, just in case. So I think he'll go to the door and like edge it open.
Okay, it's going to take a strength check.
Okay.
Because it's crushed against the edge of the...
It's ice though, isn't it?
Yes, but ice is heavy too.
Could I not manipulate the ice to open?
You could do... Yeah, you could... If there's another way you want to try and do it. Door damage.
I'll try strength first.
Okay.
Would you like some help?
You see him tugging on the door and he's like, yes.
Do it with advantage, or do let Louis.
Yeah. You tower over him and he's like, yes.
Lily, can we have some
sorry.
vampire fangs?
You're hungry, guess what we're done.
Okay, we'll be finished soon.
Bluey doing her own check or giving advantage?
You do.
Okay.
You're in you.
That's a 14.
Okay. Together, you're able to kind of like shove the door aside and it makes this like awful screeching sound. And it's bitterly cold. But you manage to squeeze through. Is anybody else following them?
Yes.
Okay. Hang on a moment.
Does Astra's dancing lights stay with the camp? Will stay at all?
So long as Astra wants it there.
Astra might leave like one moat at the camp, but can only be 120 feet away from them, so...
If we go too deep into the structure, it will disappear.
Right, okay.
I know this isn't exactly what the throne room and the ice palace looks like. However, it's the best I could do in very short notice. Give me a moment.
We get a map.
You
It's
do
never good when we get a map, guys.
Never good. It's never good when you get a map. Or is it always great?
Great for you.
Yeah, it is great for me.
Is this the TPK?
It could be, actually. Oh, JK.
I don't know if you are JK. That doesn't sound like you're JK.
Also, so the squares that you're going to see when it comes up on the floor aren't the foot squares; those are tiles. So there will be a very clear difference.
What chat is this in?
It'll be on Facebook, the usual.
I've got to close up a window or something. It's smelling like the thing you put on rice to make it smell delicious, where it's like seaweed and sesame and something else. But it's very strong. So it can't be that. And I'd rather be breathing in something else. So I'll still be listening.
Okay. Okay.
Also, is Loran
right.
following?
Yeah, of course. Always. Oh, this hasn't got the grids on it. Ugh, that's so annoying. Ignore that.
You could just say the tiles are feet if you want.
They aren't. That's way too small. It has to be a certain sort of size to make it worth it.
But the throne room's huge.
Yes, exactly. Wait. Those tiles mean... If you make it those tiles...
Oh, so yeah, it makes the room too small.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sorry.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
See, this makes it much bigger. So, okay. Right. This doesn't have the sort of seam in the middle, but imagine that I'm going to put a block of like 10 feet of ice, which is also 10 feet tall.
Also, if it helps, you could make the tiles like 10 feet each instead of the usual 5.
Depends on what you guys want to do. This is big enough, I think.
If it's already been crushed, maybe it's big enough,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this isn't supposed to represent the full size. This is supposed to represent the full size of this map.
Okay. Is that what we see when we come in? What side are we coming in from?
You are coming in from the bottom of the map. Hang on a moment.
Bottom. There we go.
I'm also making it blue so that it's like more Ulster vibed. Okay.
More Ulster vibe.
Indeed. Okay, so you're coming in from the bottom of the map. You can see the throne just peeking up above that wall of ice. You thrust the door open and you hear a kind of like breathing, kind of clicking noise and the sound of something padding. Like paws across the floor. And you see
looks like a bear-shaped head.
It does, I know. You see a creature with long, kind of like white wings and fur, kind of like stalking across this icy kind of like floor. It's been caved in, and she kind of like drags her feet and looks like a little off.
Can I insight check her?
Yeah.
11.
Okay.
I think also is really shocked.
Okay.
He kind of throws out a hand to stop all of you because he knows Shu can be volatile. Do I get anything with an 11?
You can, yes, Astra. With an 11...
Astra?
Secrets. With an 11... Pardon me, are you trying to communicate something to Shu?
He's trying to insight check Shu.
Insight check. With an 11...
He knows who it is.
He can tell that this Shu is uncanny in some way. She almost looks like a taxidermied version of the real thing. And like the way it moves, like the under the skin is kind of wrong. The wings are like moving with the wrong kind of joints, as if there's like
it's like a mimic of her almost.
Yeah.
Can you feel the psychic connection to this Shu?
You try and make a link. And roll me a wisdom saving throw.
20.
Oh, God damn it, that's exactly what we want. Okay.
Sorry.
The creature looks over at you as you try and make a link, as if to like, and then you manage to fortify yourself as you feel this like biting sensation like teeth in your mind, and then you shake it off, and as you realize this is not Shu and you don't surrender your mind to this creature, it roars and its skin shreds, revealing beneath this like thickly muscled black six-legged body.
What is this?
As a displacer beast appears in front of you, yes. Where its wings once were, you see these tendrils with these teeth-like fins almost on the very end, and a long narrow tail. And as it shreds, the pieces of skin where they hit the floor, where they were white, they kind of like rot and turn black. Very black. Like there are holes in the ground, kind of black. And Astra, you get that feeling. Like, that is what your arm went through before. And I never
What did you say? Initiative?
Yes, please.
15.
Okay. more dice.
16 for Astra.
No, to roll more at the same time. Hold on to your horses there, guys.
Okay, and
Can you please remind me, you did bring Alaria with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay, 25 to 20.
No.
Okay, Alaria is going first. Loran, +3. Definitely not going early on. And +4. 20 to 15.
15.
Okay, what's your dex?
Dex.
No, to Astra.
Mine's +2.
You're fine, don't worry. To Astra.
Oh. Sorry, sometimes when you say Astra, I hear Ulster. I don't know why.
Oh.
That's my style.
Okay, then it's the Displaced Beast. And it's Astra.
Don't make fun of me and my auditory processing issues.
I'm not making fun of you. Sparks, what did you roll?
an 8.
An 8. Okay, so you're gonna go at the end.
Lucky last.
Okay.
That's where all the action happens.
Oh, you bet. Right. Hang on a moment. Glorious sheet is all at the back. La 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 la. La la la. Is that my song?
Lovely.
Good. No one disliked it. Good. Very good. Okay. So the first thing that happens as I change the music from prepare for battle to roll initiative.
We're all gonna die.
No.
Alaria takes a step away back towards the doors, and she looks over at you guys and she says, "Is this a friend of yours?"
No, definitely not.
Right. Okay. And she is going to use her action to wild shape. And she's going to wild shape into an owl like she did before, which is her kind of preferred creature. Oh no, actually owls don't have very good HP. So she's not going to do that. She's going to choose instead.
I'll get you some vampire.
Thank you. Okay, she's going to turn into a giant spider. You see like legs kind of like spring out from her sides, and she shakes her head and hits the ground and begins to climb off to the side. Okay. And she is going to kind of, well, it looks like she's planning to, if you're going to retreat, to protect your retreat. I typed in giant spider without adding 5e, and I saw lots and lots of giant spiders just then, and that made me very upset.
I'm sorry for you.
It's okay. Nothing you don't see every day. Up in the Strayers. Right?
We do not see them every day.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. That's a whole load of
It's never
jibber jabber.
It's not true.
Right.
We made it up.
It's fiction. We made it up. It is entirely fabrication. Okay, next up then in the order.
I've walked through.
Oh, yum. Fuck, I've been waiting for these guys.
Best seasonal snack.
They're crunchy. What do they look like?
They're vampire penguins.
They're vampire penguins.
Oh, okay. I think I expected them to be soft.
Mm-mm. Okay.
They're like Cheetos.
Very nice.
Really good. Next up in the order is the Displacer Beast.
Oh.
So, with a speed of 40 feet.
Oh.
10,
Oh.
30, 40. I think first I need you guys to tell me how deep into this room you would have gotten.
We're kind of at the entrance, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would say entrance, like Ulster stopped us pretty quick from, you know.
Yeah, also help people
So
back.
just at the top of these stairs?
Yeah, also help people back from going too far.
Okay.
And you saw shoe.
I'll put Ulster there then.
Not shoe.
Loran slightly at the back because he is squished.
Okay.
I'm just going to take a few and put them on my desk. No! I'll eat them anyway. Two of them fail. Fail. Nah! This isn't so safe. It's a bit buzzed. Oh. Okay.
Price I'm willing to pay.
Bluey, would you like to be beside Ulster or in front of him?
You wouldn't have.
Okay.
I
Or
think
behind.
the best I could do is beside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Astra?
I think Astra probably would have been back beside Loran, given
Uh-huh.
secret things.
Understood. So, the blah, 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 blah. Excuse me. The Displacer Beast is going to rush up towards you guys.
Mm-hmm. We've never encountered a Displacer Beast before, have we?
Let's hear 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Okay. It can just get you and Bluey. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. It is going to choose to use its tentacles.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh. This is a cat, guys.
It's a joke. It's a joke, man.
One on each of you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's going to roll to hit. First one is going to go to Ulster.
Yeah.
With 20.
Yeah, that hits.
Bluey.
Yeah.
14.
Oh.
Does not hit, but I would like to intercept all stairs using
Okay.
my reaction.
Uh-huh.
Aww.
Uh-huh.
So kind.
So what do I roll again?
1d6 plus 4. That's going to be Ulster.
Mm-hmm.
8 points of damage, one of which is piercing, and 3 of which is piercing, and 5 of which is bludgeoning.
How much of that do I take?
All of it. Oh,
No, because Anna's.
Anna?
Because I can block 11 points of damage, you take no damage.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay,
to a minimum
so
of
here's how it
0
happens.
damage.
The Displacer Beast bounds forward and kind of like stops short. Its hind legs kind of kick up slightly and its tentacles slip forwards, and you feel this like shocking kind of grasp on each of you guys. All stare at you, see it coming forwards and it hits you, but Bluey, you reach out and you put your arm aside and you hold Ulster and you just absorb that damage, and when you do, the scales on your arm kind of ripple and take it into yourself. And when that happens, you see one of those black kind of rips on the ground begin to sew itself kind of back together.
Oh.
From the shed skin sort of thing? Or from around?
Where the shed skin was.
Whoa.
Yeah. Okay.
That's so interesting.
So
I believe in our Lord and Savior, Blowy Sparks. Sorry, I've just turned my camera off because I'm leaning back. My neck hurts.
That's okay.
But guys, I'm just happy to help out, you know.
I'm just happy to be here.
Okay. Next up in the order is Astra.
Well, it's very clear that this creature means to do us harm. I would like I would like a wisdom saving throw, as like essentially Astra kind of like takes all of that like sensory discomfort from earlier, the door kind of like screeching open, and like projects it back onto this cat with Toll the Dead.
Amazing. Okay. Roll or save. I can't remember which one
It's
it
a
is.
wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. 2 plus. Not enough, definitely. So, tell me more.
Is this creature damaged at all?
Not yet, no.
Okay, then it's only a D8. For 3 necrotic damage.
Okay, cool. 3. Let me write that down. -3. Okay. It kind of like hisses and steps back a little bit from that force of that hit. Is there anything else you would like to do?
That's action. I don't have anything I can do on my bonus action.
No movement?
I will move back in the case that it seems like we need to get out of here in a hurry, but like still staying at the ready.
Okay, perfect.
And that's me done.
5 feet back?
Yeah, just like 5 feet back, just to open up that area a little bit so that we're not all just clumped into one.
Okay, cool. Right. You're kind of in the corner between when the door was pushed open. I will at the end of the round. Is that okay? Oh, okay.
Oh, I kind of need it for my time.
Sure. Okay.
Thank you.
So, next up in the order is Ulster. Ulster, what are you going to do?
Okay, I am going to... Okay, this isn't technically a spell. Can I ask you something quickly?
Ooh, the bits of skin. Oh, train. I didn't know them.
Okay. Ulster will pull a classic Ulster. And he is going to teleport up to the rifts.
Oh, God. Okay.
Because I think he wants to investigate this room more.
Right in front of them?
Yeah. And he wants to hope that maybe that will draw the beast's attention.
Make a strength saving throw.
A strength saving throw?
Yeah.
What?
Do you remember Astra?
2.
You teleport up to the rifts,
Not like on them, like here. I can get here.
Tell me where you want to be.
Let me count. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I can get to this square. That square.
Just move yourself on this map.
Okay. I can't get on them.
You're not AS, by the way. You're A.
Yes, I know that.
Cool. Just in case. AS is Astra because that's super obvious and clear.
Okay.
Anna, how much longer do you have?
Negative 2 minutes.
Okay.
I can get that.
I will find us a good place to stop in about 5 minutes. Is that okay? Okay.
Thank you.
Right, at the end of this round, we'll figure something out. Okay. Also, you do not need to make a straight saving throw.
Thanks.
Okay, tell me more.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Can I instead make an investigation check on the rift?
You may, yeah.
It's not great. I guess that kind of makes sense. Hold on. No, it's a 11.
Okay. When you kind of come up to them, you look in and you feel in your chest a very deep and primal fear. You feel loneliness. You feel depression and sadness.
Oh.
And you feel an unquantifiable sensation of loss.
Oh my god.
And all of that hits you at once. And you get the impression that if you spend exposed amounts of time near these rifts, it's going to have very dire consequences.
Okay.
Oh, wow. My God. Is any of this visible?
Something moving beyond the rift.
Beyond the rift.
You see just a hint of movement. You can't see what it is, though, with a roll that low. Okay. Next is going to be Giral, who is going to move up, sort of semi-climbing these like walls and crouch behind this barrier on the left near where the spider has gone. He's going to use his bonus action to hide, and he is going to take a attack at the spider with his crossbow.
Displace a beast?
Excuse me. Displace a beast with his crossbow in hopes of getting a little sneaky something. Okay. 13 plus 6. 1d8 plus 3. 7. Oh, 10. It's not bad. Sneak. 5.
I'm so glad we recruited John.
Yeah, 15 total. And then he is going to use one of his special things that he can do only once per round on his turn, which is Psychic Blades.
Oh.
When you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can use 1 inspiration to deal an extra 3d6 psychic damage.
Oh my god.
To that target. Guys, glad he's on your side.
Yeah.
5, 7,
now.
11. So that was 15 plus 11. So he did 27, 26 rounds, points of damage.
Oh.
So it's down 29 HP from full, I think.
Yep.
Oh, Giral.
Nice roll.
That's so extra.
Oh, what is this number? Minus 29. Let's quickly find out. Okay. Next up in the order is Loran, who is going to reach up from his spot, not moving because he is not a monster.
I'm not a monster.
No, because he's a squishy wizard and he's not a monster, therefore. Actually, no, he is going to move. He's going to move 5 feet to the left so that he doesn't get anybody else in his line of attack. And he is going to cast a doobie-doobie-dee. Let me see. Fireball? Fireball? No.
No.
Firebolt.
No fire.
No. You know, you do something different. He's going to do Chromatic Orb. And he is going to do it first level. He's doing a ranged spell attack, which is 13, which beats it. It's got a very low armor class, but the round rolled shit. And that's going to be 3d8 damage.
Nice.
8! Guys, I'm not making this shit up. Just making this easier for you. 9. 10. 10 points of damage total. And the creature is bloodied.
Nice.
Oh.
Okay. Next up, and last in the order, Bluey, you are right next to this creature, which is just been hit by this kind of like pulsating orb of poisonous kind of magic, which sort of seeps into it. It makes it go crawl back, and it's like got its tentacles up, ready to fight.
Let me know if this is too much information to try and absorb. But firstly, okay, I think I want to mainly know 2 things. Firstly, do I see a reaction from Ulster in response to the feeling of deep depression, sadness, and sense of loss?
I think he kind of buckles a little bit. And he looks like he's staring at the rift.
Okay. And secondly, if I can know, have any further rifts disappeared, or closed up? Sorry, no. Okay. Okay then. So I have a thing that could help Ulster, maybe. I also have a thing that could take the beast's attention or could frighten it. And I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so I think because we're doing good damage to it. Actually, you know what? Okay, I think Sparks will try and do a breath attack, breath weapon. After all that, that requires a dex saving throw.
Okay.
I'll definitely make sure it's a 30-foot line.
Right. 9.
No one else. That does
It's
not.
got its hackles raised, but it's just not ready for an attack.
Ah, little silly goose.
Oh my god, that's a little bucket of dice. That's so cute.
Is how much? 1d10. So I hope that's a 9. All right, 9 lightning.
9, sick.
Ah! That, and then Sparks will position herself between. Oh no, she promised to protect Loran, but Ulster's next to the rifts. No,
you choose.
She's concerned about Ulster because this is like his house. His
You're coming to my house.
Special creature that actually wasn't and wore her skin badly, might add. So she will maneuver herself between the displaced beast and Ulster, and if that provokes an opportunity attack, then she'll have to weather it.
Yeah. So do you want to be right in front of Ulster, like 5 feet away? Because you can get there, or do you want to be still within range of the beast? But breaking the line from Ulster.
Right next to Ulster.
Okay. You are going to get an opportunity attack. 1 tentacle. 12 plus 6, 18.
Does not hit.
Amazing. Okay, it kind of lashes at you and you roll on the ground and bring up your shield and it kind of bounces off. And you slide to a halt in front of Ulster on the ground. And I think that
My hero.
The displacer beast kind of like hisses at you, and it is like got lacerations and withered parts of itself from Astra's attack as well. It sees the spider, it sees that it's really low on health, and hardly any of you guys, if any of you, are injured. It looks back at the rifts, and it is going to run towards them.
Oh shit.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Bluey, you get an attack of opportunity.
I would like to keep my reaction in case I need to intercept, or the other thing I can do with the reaction, and I can't remember what that is.
Let me just check. Yeah.
Oh yes, the other thing.
The other thing that I can do.
Yeah.
Hold up. Wait.
Okay, yeah, that's fine then. You don't have to. Understood. Okay, and you see everyone, the displacer beast kind of buries itself into one of the rifts, and when it kind of goes back inside, it knits up behind it.
Oh my god.
And the other rifts that kind of were like quivering, some of them start to close up, some of them like struggle to. This is where we're going to have to leave the session.
But who is moving?
This is where we're going to have to leave the session so that Anna can sleep, but I'm sure we can find a time next weekend where we can play.
But who is moving, Emma?
I'm not telling you.
Emma!
I'm not telling you. Also, the one thing you do know is that you feel a very strange bond with Bluey that you've never really noticed before. Okay.
Bluey,
Right.
I think we just became best friends.
Bestie behaviour.
I gotta get my hetero.
We're all Best friends. Okay.